Good afternoon, everybody. You are listening to Lake Stevens Vikings varsity baseball here on April 9th, 2018, a partly cloudy 55-degree afternoon here at Lake Stevens High School. The Vikings looking to sweep the Kamiak Knights in a response to back on Saturday when the Vikings beat the Knights in 5 innings by a score of 15-5. The Vikings trying a few things a little different in their lineup. Josh White putting in Xander Fogel for the second time this year on the mound. He pitched in a game against Meaderdale to a really rough start, and he also made a few changes in the lineup as well. For example, in center field, instead of Cameron Austin, it will be Tanner Lind, who is not in his usual spot in left field. Cameron Austin will be in the bullpen. As for left, Trey Long making his first ever start at left field, and Caden Pattison at the 9th spot, and once again at right field. Lake Stevens enters this game with a 7-4 overall record, a 2-3 record in the Westco Conference, currently with the number 5 seed and final playoff seed in the conference, while the Kamiak Knights have a record of 2 wins and 9 losses, and a record of 1 win and 4 losses in conference play, currently out of playoff contention. When we come back, it'll be the top of the first inning. Lake Stevens will be starting off against the Kamiak Knights. Xander Fogel looking to get his first win of the season. And we are now back in the top of the first inning here from Lake Stevens High School. The starting pitcher making his second start of the season is Xander Fogel. Will face off against the freshman right fielder, number 16, Sana O. First pitch, a strike. No. First pitch is a ball 1. Well, outside to Sana O. It'll be the same first 3 hitters as Saturday, the 1-0. Strike 1 looking, evening the count. It'll be the same first 3 hitters as on Saturday. Sana O, the center fielder, Cyrus Veneta, and the designated hitter, Bryce Coate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fogel in the dirt, ball 2. Fogel entering this game in his 6th start, his 6th game of the year, and his 2nd start. No wins and no losses, an ERA of 7. And the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Count is 2-2. And the 2-2, full count. And the Kamiak Knights lineup, as told by manager Kevin Agnew, leading off is Sana O, the right fielder. As Cyrus Veneta, the center fielder. Payoff pitch, a chopper. This one fielded by Xander, who tosses it to Tate Bruss, the first baseman, and it will get the first out in the top of the first. Here is the center fielder, Cyrus Veneta. And the first 3 hitters for Kamiak: Sana O, the right fielder; Cyrus Veneta, the center fielder. First pitch, a ground ball, a chopper to the second baseman, Ethan Jansen, for the second out in the top of the first. Now bring up the number 3 hitter, the designated hitter, Bryce Coate. He went 0 for 1 in Saturday's game, grounding out to Hunter Zelasco, and was walked with a full count with the bases loaded against Tate Bruss, who now currently is playing at first base. And Xander, the first pitch. Hard hit ball, this one going into left field. That will fall in foul territory. Count will start 0-1 as it leans past the third base line. The middle of the order for Kamiak: third baseman Ethan Norris, first baseman A.J. Riley, and the catcher Wes Garrett. And the bottom 3 hitters, left fielder Damon Cruz, the shortstop Nick Lahman, the 0-1 upstairs. Count is even at 1-1. And the second baseman Leo Furlong is the same defensive position as Saturday's game. And the 1-1 by Xander. Swung on, foul ball, goes over the fence. Makes the count now to 1-2. And the starting pitcher for the Kamiak Knights will be number 4, Nick Stoller. Making his 6th appearance this year as well for the Knights. 1-2, a hard hit ball going in the left. Trey Long going back. Trey looking up. It gets over the head of Trey Long. As it goes to the wall, it was a quick one. And the ball go to second base, and Bryce Cote has a 2-out double. In the top of the first, now here's the third baseman, number 15, Ethan Norris. And the first pitch is a ball one. The 1-0 in the dirt, ball two. And Xander looking at Bryce Cote at second base. 2-0 the pitch. A strike one looking. And the 2-1, a ground ball back to Xander. Tosses it to Tate Brust, the first baseman, and that will end the top of the first inning. Kamiak could only muster a 2-out double by Bryce Cote, and that's all they get so far. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on. It is Kamiak nothing. Lake Stevens coming up as Nicholas Stoller will walk up to the mound. Number 4, Nicholas Stoller, will face off against Hunter Zalasko, the shortstop. Tanner Lynn, the center fielder in today's game. And the third baseman, Theron Perkins, as we go into the bottom of the first inning. Kamiak nothing, Lake Stevens coming up. And we are now back in the bottom of the first inning. Lake Stevens trying to get on the board for the first time this afternoon against Nicholas Stoller, as they'll face off against Hunter Zalasko. First pitch low for a ball one. Stoller entering this game is 6 appearances this year, 1 win and 2 losses, an ERA of 3.34. Starts off with a 1-0 against Zalasko, the windup. And a strike one looking. And the lineup for the 7-4 Lake Stevens Vikings, who are 2-3 in conference play, as told by manager Josh White. It will be Hunter Zalasko, the center fielder Tanner Lynn, and the third baseman Theron Perkins. The 1-1. Low. Trying that off-speed curve, inside ball 2. Cleanoff hitter is the designated hitter Aaron Lampinen. 5 spot is the left fielder Trey Long, his first ever varsity start at left field. And Ethan Jansen starting at second base this time instead of Aaron, the 2-1. Hard hit shot. This is getting into the hole in center field. And Hunter Zalasko starts off with a leadoff single in the bottom of the first. Now here is Tanner Lind. Tanner, he is slowly crawling on the Lake Stevens history, as he currently has 14 stolen bases on the year. He is 2 away from tying the single season record with 16 and 3 to breaking it. And we're in the 12th game of the year. Runner goes. Nope. Hunter stays at first. Outside ball 1. At the 7th spot, first baseman Tate Brust. The catcher Tommy Linger at the 8 hole. And the 9th spot is the right fielder Caden Pattison. And the 1-0. Hard hit shot. This gets off of the mound. Stoller falls right near the mound, and it'll be another single into the hole in center field. Either Stoller was trying to get that ball and fell, or he was trying to get away from it. But either way, it gets into the hole in center, as the Vikings start off with runners on first and second base, picking up where they left off back at Mukilteo on Saturday. Timeout by Kamiak. The starting catcher, Wes Garrett, walking up to talk to Stoller. And the defensive positions for the Kamiak Knights, as told by manager Kevin Agnew. On the mound is Nicholas Stoller. Behind the plate is Wes Garrett. On the infield, third base is Ethan Norris. Shortstop is Nick Lahman. Second base is Leo Furlong. And at first base is A.J. Riley. Furlong right near the bag. First pitch to Theron Perkins, a foul. as it gets off of the catcher's mask of Garrett. And on the outfield at left is Damon Krause. At center field is Cyrus Venata. And at right field is Sana O. And the 0-1. Hard hit fly ball. This one getting in the right field. Sana O calling for it. And he will be making the catch. Zelasco going to third to throw. Cut off by the shortstop. And will not throw to either third or first, as the Vikings have runners on the corners. Here in the bottom of the first inning, here is the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, number 12, Aaron Lampinen. There are a number of changes in the Lake Stevens defensive positions today. Trey Long playing at left, Aaron as a designated hitter, and Tanner moving to center, and that is because manager Josh White has Cameron Austin in the bullpen. First pitch by Stoller. Runner goes. Garrett, the throw to second is not in time. And Tanner now with stolen base number 15. He is one stolen base away from tying the school record. Count starts at 1-0. And Stoller steps off. And the reserves for the Lake Stevens Vikings: Bailey Corley, Colton Hogel, Alex Peterson, Chris Cashman, Alex Keeley, the 1-0 inside, ball 2. Devin McWaters, Dominic Gray, Cameron Austin, who will most likely have an appearance on the mound today, and making his first appearance in a varsity uniform, number 20, Jace Merkerson. And the 2-0, the pitch, a golf shot, foul, past the left field line. Count is 2-1. And Stoller getting the sign from Wes Garrett. 2 balls, 1 strike. The windup and the pitch. Outside, ball 3. Garrett flinches, fakes a throw to third, and does not throw to Zelasco. Runners still on second and third. Currently, Lake Stevens has the 6th place spot in the conference, 3-1. Strike 2, count is full. Another off-speed curve by Stoller. As normally they would be 5th place in the conference if not for Glacier Peak. And Stoller, payoff pitch, and a slow grounder that is going to go in the foul territory. Count stays at a full count at 3-2. At the end of the week, after Lake Stevens played Kamiak, the standings stayed with Lake Stevens as the 5 seed and Glacier Peak as the 6 seed, but then something happened. The payoff pitch, ground ball. This one getting in and out of the glove of the shortstop, Nick Lahman. He cannot throw, and the Vikings will get their first run on the board. It'll be an RBI single for Aaron Lampinen. Zelasco will score from third. Lind will go to third base. And runners are on the corners once again as the left fielder Trey Long walks up to the plate. Had a slump to start the year, but then recently has been going off and is at a great job on the mound. Currently a 200 batting average of 6 for 30. First pitch, ball 1.
Take it easy up there, kid. Take it easy. Relax now. Easy up, Trey.
There's Trey with a 200 batting average, 3 doubles, 3 runs, and has struck out 3 times. He has not been walked. He has not been hit. Throw to first, not in time.
Hey, they're scared of you, dude.
And is also 7 for 8 on stolen bases. So the standings for the Westcoast Conference after that Lake Stevens Kamiak game. The 1-0. Upstairs, ball 2. It was Cascade, Jackson, and Monroe. They were all tied for first place with 4-1 conference records, with Jackson and Monroe getting the best overall record over Cascade. Jackson and Monroe both 8-3, Cascade 7-4. Mount Vernon had the sole possession of the number 4 seed with a 3-2 record. 2-0. Runner go, swing and a miss, and Aaron Lampinen will not go to second as it'll be a foul ball. Almost looked like a foul tip, but the ball gets out of the glove of the catcher, Wes Garrett. Count is now 2-1. Lake Stevens with the sole possession of the 5 seed with a 2-3 record and a 7-4 overall record. And Stoller looking at first, 2-1. Low ball 3. And Glacier Peak, they were supposed to play Mariner on Friday, April 5th. That did not happen. And they finished with a 1-3 conference record to end the week. Kamiak with a 1-4 conference record, and Mariner winless at 0-9. The 3-1 inside, ball 4. Bases are loaded. As that'll bring up Ethan Jansen, the second baseman. But then Glacier Peak and Mariner, they were supposed to play yesterday, but then that game, Mariner ended up forfeiting both games against Glacier Peak. First pitch, foul ball. It's defense behind home plate. Mariner and Glacier Peak, they forfeited Monday's game, and Glacier Peak ended up playing a non-conference game on the road against Squim, which is a pretty long ways from Snohomish. Glacier Peak ended up winning that game 11-7, and then Glacier Peak ended up forfeiting, or Mariner ended up forfeiting today's game with Glacier Peak, giving them another loss. The 0-1 foul ball is defense, now 0-2. And it's unclear whether if Glacier Peak will play a game with Mariner. My mistake, Glacier Peak. It has been revealed that they'll play a road game against Ingraham High School. The 0-2 upstairs, ball 1. And so Mariner will get 2 losses, while Glacier Peak will have a chance at getting another win. They just haven't had one overall. And the 0-2, this one a short fly ball. A.J. Riley, the throw home is in time to get Tanner. It is a fielder's choice. As it was a slow fly ball, it falls on the infield grass, picked up by the first baseman, A.J. Riley, who tosses it to Wes Garrett. And it gets Tanner out at home. Now here is Tate Bruss, the first baseman. Keeps the lead at 1-0, and it's the second out. And Stoller, first pitch. Strike 1. Got him with a curve to start it off. Tate with a .250 batting average, 4 for 16 with 3 doubles and 2 RBIs. He has scored 1 run. He has been walked. Has not been walked at all. He has struck out once, and he's been hit 1 time. And the 0-1, Stoller in the dirt. Ball almost getting away from Wes Garrett. So what happens? So what's going to happen here is at Glacier Peak right now they have a 2-3 conference record. But from my assumption, they'll have a 3-3 conference record, but they'll also add to their overall record as well. The 1-1 hard hit shot. This is caught, fielded by the third baseman, who touches the third base bag. It's Ethan Norris. That'll be for another fielder's choice. It was a slow ground ball that was almost past the left field line for a 2-bagger. It will tag, or it'll touch the third base bag to get Trey out at third, and it'll be the end of the first inning. It'll be 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on. Lake Stevens starting off with an early 1-0 lead. Xander Fogel walking back to the mound. We'll face off against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. A.J. Riley, the first baseman. Wes Garrett, the catcher. and Damon Krause, the left fielder. Lake Stevens with an early 1-0 lead. And then we are now back in the top of the second inning. Lake Stevens, they get a run on the board and take an early 1-0 lead. Xander Fogel back on the mound will face off against the number 5 hitter, A.J. Riley. Who went 1 for 3 against the Vikings on Saturday, and the first pitch will hit Riley. As that pitch will go inside, as Kamiak will get the game-tying run aboard. Here is Wes Garrett, the catcher, as he went 0 for 2 with a walk in Saturday's game at Kamiak High School. Xander Fogel throwing 14 pitches, 5 balls for 9 strikes. First pitch, outside, ball 1. And the reserves for the Kamiak Knights: Will Coons, Carson Swistak, Andrew Moore, Max Gilmore, Chris Peterson, Dante Bauer, Alex Ripke, Alec Harshaw, the 1-0. Strike 1 looking. Evens the count at 1-1. Is Cole Ripke, who is Alex Ripke's younger brother, and Marcus Yaniguez, spelled Y-N-I-G-U-E-Z. Count even at 1-1. The pitch. Chopper going to Theron, who throws to Ethan Jansen. Throws to first. It is in time. No! Tate got off the bag. And that will be a fielder's choice. As a runner will stay at first. That was a chopper that was fielded by Theron. He throws it to Ethan Jansen at second base, who throws it a little high to Tate Brust. It gets him off the bag. Here is the left fielder, Damon Krause. First pitch. Strike 1 looking. Damon on Saturday, he had a single in the second inning. He was walked in the fourth, and he had an RBI double in the fifth. He went 2 for 2. And the 0-1 pitch, a one-hopper that gets away from Tommy Lindgren. It'll be a wild pitch. And Kamiak now with the game-tying run in scoring position at second base. And the defensive positions for the Lake Stevens Vikings, as told by manager Josh White. After this pitch, the 1-1 pitch, outside, ball 2. And the defensive positions for the Lake Stevens Vikings: on the mound is Xander Fogel. Behind the plate is Tommy Lindgren. On the infield at third base is Theron Perkins. At shortstop is Hunter Zalasko. Second base is Ethan Jansen. And at first base is Tate Brust. The 2-1. Inside, ball 3. Ball gets away from Tommy, and now Wes Garrett is going to third. Count is now 3-1. On the outfield at left is Trey Long. At center field is Tanner Lind. And at right field is Caden Pattison. And currently at the designated hitter is Aaron Lampinen, who will be hitting for the pitcher Xander Fogel. Count is 3-1. The windup and the pitch, swing and a miss. Count is full at 3-2. And currently in the bullpen, Josh White has 5 guys that are ready to pitch today, starting off with Alex Peterson, who is looking to make his first relief appearance this year. Dominic Gray, Chris Cashman, Caden Pattison, and Cameron Austin. Payoff outside, ball 4. And Kamiak has runners on the corners for the shortstop, Nick Lahman. During Saturday's game against the Vikings at Kamiak High School, the 8 and 9 hitters were the top contributors for the Kamiak Knights. Timeout by Lake Stevens. Josh White and Tommy Lindgren walking up to the mound to talk to Xander. And at the 8th spot, Nick Lahman, he had a single in the 3rd inning and later scored. At the 4th inning, he had a fielder's choice and scored on that, moving to second base and third base through wild pitches. And in the 5th inning, grounded out to the pitcher Tanner Lind after a nice snag by him as it snow coned into his glove when he was on the mound. And Xander Ball one upstairs against Nick Lawman. So what's going to happen is that Mariner, because they forfeited both those games, and there's a possibility that they'll forfeit their next 2 games against Monroe, Mariner will go down to 0-6 as of right now and are 0-11. The 1-0, a ground ball fielded by Theron. Throw a one-hopper to Tommy, and it'll be not in time as Tommy could not touch the bag.
Hey, Carl!
As Kamiak will bring in a run, tying the game at 1. And it'll count as an infield single. As Theron, he got the ball. It was a nice snag. He could have gone for 2 there. Now we have Leo Furlong. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. And Xander looking at Kraus at second. A pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 1. So Mariner will go 0-11 overall and 0-6 in conference play, while Glacier Peak, they'll get 2 wins in conference play, but their overall record will not be affected. Throw to second is not in time to the shortstop, Hunter Zelasco. So Glacier Peak, they go up to a 3-3 conference record, but their overall record stays the same at 3-6 entering this week. So they played against Squim, and they won that game, so they move up to 4-6. Now the assumption is they'll go up to 5-6. So 1-1 goes low for a ball 2. Xander in the stretch, looking at Garrett at second, outside ball 3. Count is now 3-1. So right now it says that Lake Stevens is, no, right now it says Glacier Peak is 5-7. The 3-1, strike 2. And Furlong almost tossing the back towards the Kamiak dugout as Xander will throw another full count. And the payoff pitch, a foul chopper. Count stays full. Okay, so now what's going to happen is that because Mariner forfeited both games, Mariner supposedly will get a win, and Glacier Peak will get a win. They both swap identical scores. This one going to Hunter, who throws to Ethan Jansen. Throws to first, is in time for 2, and it will end the top of the second. A 6-4-3 double play will end the top of the second inning, but the Knights will get a run on the board. It is 1 run off of 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on. And the Knights making this a whole new ball game as Stoller will walk back up to the mound. He'll face off against the 8, 9, 1 hitters, Tommy Linger and Caden Pattison. And then back to the top of the order for Hunter Zelasco as the Vikings look to retake the lead in the bottom of the second inning. And we are now back into the bottom of the second inning. Kamiak, they tie this game up at 1 apiece as Nicholas Stoller is back on the mound. He'll face off against Tommy Lindgren. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. Stoller had a rough first inning, 12 balls for 15 strikes and 27 pitches, allowing 1 run, 3 hits, and leaving 3 guys on, the bases loaded. That's the only fortunate part of that inning. The 0-1 pitch, a fly ball. This one going to Cyrus Venata, the center fielder, who will make the catch for the first out of the bottom of the second. Here is the number 9 hitter, Caden Pattison. Enters this at bat and enters today going 1 for 16.
Oh, you get it. He plays hockey. Get in.
And the first pitch by Stoller. And a strike one looking to start off the inning.
Yes, sir!
And the 0-1 by Stoller. And a chopper, this one going to Norris, who throws to first. It is in time for the second out. And now we go back to the top of the order. Hunter Zalasko walking back up to the plate. He hit a 2-1 pitch into the hole in center field. And is the only run so far for the Lake Stevens Vikings. As he came up to the plate in the bottom of the first inning. And the windup in the first pitch by Stoller. Hard hit shot, this one going in the left field. Back goes the left fielder, Cruz. Can he get there? He cannot, it'll go to the wall. And Zalasko has a 2-out double in the bottom of the second inning. And now it'll bring up Tanner Lind. He hit a 1-0 pitch, also into the hole in center field. This time it got some help from the mound. As the Vikings now look to retake the lead, they have a run in scoring position.
Let's go, kid! Let's go, Tanner, let's go! Let's go, kid!
And the first pitch by Stoller. Hard hit shot, this one going into right center. Venata looking for it, calling for it, and will make the catch to end the bottom of the second inning. A very quick one. It is no runs on one hit, no errors, and one runner left on. The game still tied at 1 as we go into the top of the third inning. Xander Fogel will face off against the top 3 hitters once again. Sana O, Cyrus Venata, and Bryce Coates. So once again, Kamiak 1, Lake Stevens 1. And we are now back into the top of the third inning. Game is still tied at 1 apiece. And Xander Fogel once again facing off against the top of the order for the second time around. It is the right fielder Sana O who grounded out to the pitcher Fogel on a 2-2 count to start the game. First pitch by Xander. Hard hit shot. This one going into short left center. That will be caught by Trey Long and a diving catch in left center field to start the third inning. What a play by the senior left fielder, making his first start at left field. Now here is the center fielder Cyrus Venata. He grounded out to the second baseman Ethan Jansen on the first pitch he saw back in the top of the first. There's a ball 1 to start it off. Xander in the first inning, he threw 5 balls for 9 strikes and 14 pitches. In the second inning, he threw 9 balls for 10 strikes in 19 pitches in that inning for a total of 33 after 2. The 1-0, a chopper to Zalasko. Throw to first is in time for the second out. Now bring up Bryce Coate, who has one of 2 Kamiak base hits in this game. He had a 2-bagger back in the top of the first inning. And the windup, the first pitch by Xander, strike 1. So it has now come to my attention that because both games were forfeited, that both Mariner and Glacier Peak, they both get a win. The 0-1, outside ball 1. Which means that Mariner is 1-5 with a 1-10 overall record, even though they did not officially get that victory. The 1-1, strike 2. Nice pitch by Xander, 1-2 count. Which means if Lake Stevens beats Kamiak, then the Knights will be tied with the Mariner Marauders for last place in the conference. And Glacier Peak now up to 2-4. The 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. Tommy Lindgren throwing to the first baseman Tate Bruss to end the top of the third. A 1-2-3 inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on, highlighted by a diving play by Trey Long at left field. The game is still tied at 1 as Stoller will go out to the mound in the bottom of the third. He'll face off against Theron Perkins, Aaron Lampinen, and Trey Long. And we are now back in the bottom of the third inning. Game is still tied at 1 apiece. Nicholas Stoller back on the mound. He has thrown 33 pitches through 2 innings. It'll face off for the second time around against Theron Perkins, who flew out to Sauna O in the bottom of the first. And the windup in the first pitch. Strike 1. They'll face off against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Theron Perkins, Aaron Lampinen, and Trey Long. The windup in the 0-1. And a curve. This one going in the left field. Back goes Kraus. Looking up. Going back. It will fall fair. Theron thought it was foul for a split second. And that ball, it will stay fair at the leadoff double. That one, from this angle, it looked like it barely landed fair. And now the umpires are going to be talking about it, and they are going to say that that is a foul ball. As the count is now 0-2, a close call there for Kamiak. Very close call right there. It's very interesting. From this angle, it looked like it landed fair right near the wall in left field. But I guess it landed foul. The 0-2, strike 3 called. Theron gets caught striking out looking with the fastball. And Stoller, he responds to Xander Fogel getting his first strikeout by striking out the first batter he sees in the third inning. Here is Aaron Lampinen, who got a RBI single in the bottom of the first inning. And Stoller, first pitch. One hopper to the catcher, Wes Garrett, ball 1. So Mariner now has a 1-5 conference record. Lake Stevens has a 2-3 record. Glacier Peak has a 2-4 record, which means if Lake Stevens loses this game, they'll be tied with Glacier Peak for the 5th and final spot in the 1-0 foul chopper. Count even at 1-1. But if Lake Stevens wins, they take sole possession of the 5th and final spot if Mount Vernon beats Monroe. If Monroe beats Mount Vernon, then both Mount Vernon and Lake Stevens are tied for the number 4 spot. Right now, it sounds very confusing. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it'll all make sense by the end of the year. 1 ball and 1 strike, Stoller. Curve upstairs. And Stoller, the windup in the 2-1. Upstairs, ball 3. As for the other games that are going to be playing, Monroe will be playing up north against Mount Vernon, and Cascade will be playing at Jackson. 3-1. Hard hit shot going in the left. Damon Kraus is there, will make the catch. Had to move a few steps to his right to make it. And now here is Trey Long, the left fielder. Got on base on a 5-pitch walk, and then was the third out in the bottom of the first inning off of a fielder's choice. And Stoller, the first pitch. Curve, strike 1 looking. The Vikings have been hit or miss with those first pitch curveballs. From Stoller. And the 0-1. Curve, fly ball that is playable right near the mound. As the pitcher Stoller and the first baseman A.J. Riley were both calling for it. They'll get into the glove of the pitcher Stoller right next to the mound. It'll be the end of the bottom of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Still a 1-1 score. As Xander will go into the top of the 4th inning. Facing off against the middle of the order, Ethan Norris, A.J. Riley, and Wes Garrett. as Lake Stevens tries to keep this a tie ball game, 1-1 going to the top of the fourth. And we are now back into the top of the fourth inning. Game is still tied at 1 apiece. Xander Fogel facing off against the cleanup hitter, the third baseman Ethan Norris, who grounded out to the pitcher Fogel to end the top of the first inning. First pitch, a chopper going towards the Kamiak dugout. Fogel will face off against the middle of the order, third baseman Ethan Norris, the first baseman A.J. Riley, and the catcher Wes Garrett. And the windup, the 0-1. Strike two, a nice pitch by Xander. Just hitting the bottom under the strike zone, just barely hits the bottom part of it. Count is 0-2, Xander. And a ball gets away from the catcher Tommy Lindgren, ball 1. Xander against 3 batters, he threw only 7 pitches with a total of 16 balls, 24 strikes, and 40 pitches total through 3 innings. And across the way from the baseball field, softball games going on. The undefeated Vikings in conference play taking on Glacier Peak. The 1-2 upstairs. Count is even at 2-2. So it will be Monroe playing at Mount Vernon. And Cascade at Jackson, the 2-2. Chopper, this one in fair territory, fielded by Theron. Quick throw to first, it is in time. No, Tate gets off the bag again. As the throw is high from Theron Perkins. It'll be an error on Theron as A.J. Riley will come up to the plate. He got on base on a hit by a pitch. He got hit on the first pitch he saw to start the top of the second inning. And Xander, first pitch inside, ball 1. Currently some activity in the bullpen. That is Alex Peterson. Brings up the question on whether if whether Alex will pitch in the starting role at some point this week, if he has the possibility of pitching today. And if there is, the chance will probably be on Friday. Throw to first is not in time.
Tommy, bounce on the ball out front of the plate. Here we go. Everyone up. Come on, Max. Go get him right here.
And Xander, the 1-0. Upstairs, ball 2.
Come on, Xander.
And on Wednesday, April 10th, that is when all the Westco teams will start their new series. For Monroe and Mariner, it'll be very uncertain on whether they will play at all. The 2-0 hard hit shot going in the center. That will fall. And Ethan Norris will go to third. It'll be a single for A.J. Riley, as there are runners on the corners now for Kamiak for the first 2 batters. In the top of the fourth, here is Wes Garrett, who got on base on a fielder's choice. In the top of the fourth inning, Kamiak now the game-leading run 90 feet away at third base. First pitch by Xander, a foul ball, a hit right next to the backstop. Count will start at 0-1. But apart from Monroe and Mariner, which will start tomorrow on April 10th, there will be a new series. Lake Stevens playing against Cascade. Check swing. Count is even at 1-1. Tommy looking at first. Jackson will be playing at Glacier Peak. That'll be a pretty good series. And Kamiak will play up north against Mount Vernon. Starting tomorrow, that's when they'll probably start Max Gilmore as well. 1-1. A ball 2 upstairs. As there were a couple of guys for Kamiak before the game that were warming up. One of them was Stoller, but beforehand it was assumed that Max Gilmore was going to start. The 2-1 ground ball. This one going to Zelasco. Toss it to Jansen. Toss it, airmails it past Tate.
Step on the bag. Your momentum's already going that way. Why are we making this hard?
And it'll be an RBI fielder's choice for Wes Garrett. Ethan Norris will score from third. And A.J. Riley is out at second. It'll be the first out of the inning, but Kamiak will get the lead for the first time in the series with a 2-1 lead. Here's Damon Krause, the left fielder. And Xander, first pitch, inside, ball one. And it was assumed that Max Gilmore was going to pitch because of his last performance. He was the starting pitcher in the Knights' last game against the Jackson Timberwolves before they played the Vikings, to which the Knights won 13-3. Runner goes, and a ball two as the ball gets away from Tommy. And Wes Garrett gets a stolen base as Kamiak has some insurance at second. Count at 2 balls and no strikes. With 1 out in the fourth, upstairs ball 3. And Xander, the 3-0. A ball 4. And Kamiak has runners on first and second. Again, it's the second time that Xander has walked Krause. And it's his second walk overall. Now here is Nick Lahman, who hit an RBI single in the top of the second that scored Wes Garrett from third. Throw to second is not in time to get Garrett. And now there is some activity in the bullpen for Kamiak. Looks like number 15, Ethan Norris. First pitch, a ball. Throw to third is not in time. Does he get him? No, he doesn't. Ball gets away from Tommy Lindgren for a split second. He's able to throw to third, but not get Garrett, as he will get a stolen base to third. Counts 1 ball and no strikes. And the 1-0 is strike 1. And Fogel, the 1-1, tries bunting for it. It's a strike. As Lahman got the bat away a little too late. And the count is now 1-2. And the 1-2 by Xander. Strike 3 called. He gets Lahman looking. Got him for the second out. Here is Leo Furlong, who grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Throw to first, not in time. And Kamiak with runners on the corners with a chance to increase their 1-run lead. Xander, the first pitch to Furlong, inside, ball 1. And Fogel, runner goes. Tommy, the throw to second is cut off. Throw home. Is it in time? Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It ends the inning. Jansen caught the throw from the second base bag, immediately threw home to get Wes Garrett out at home plate. It will be a 2-4-2 to get Garrett. It will end the top of the fourth, but a run will score. It is 1 run off of 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner left on. Kamiak takes a 2-1 lead as Stoller goes back to the mound in the bottom of the fourth. He'll face off against Ethan Jansen, the guy who made the throw back to home plate, to Tate Brust and Tommy Lindgren, as the Vikings try to retake the lead. And we are now back in the bottom of the fourth inning. Kamiak, for the first time in this series, has taken the lead against the Lake Stevens Vikings by a score of 2-1. The first batter for Stoller will be Ethan Jansen. First pitch low for a ball. Stoller has been masterful ever since allowing the run in the first inning. He's thrown 6 pitches in the second inning, 10 pitches in the third. Now the Vikings looking to get some power against Stoller. 43 pitches through 3. The 1-0, strike 1. They'll face off against the 6-hitter Ethan Jansen, the 7-hitter Tate Brust, and the 8-hitter, the catcher Tommy Lindgren. And the 1-1. Hard hit shot. This one going into center field. Venata cannot make the catch as he slides forward a little too early. Ethan Jansen will start off with a leadoff single in the bottom of the fourth inning. Here is Tate Brust, the first baseman. Tate hit into a fielder's choice right near the third base line. That was fielded by Ethan Norris, who was diving for it, and he touches the third base bag to get Trey out at third. That ended the bottom of the fourth. My mistake, the bottom of the first. Runner goes. Ethan going to second. The throw is it in time? Yes, it is. So that'll be the first out of the fourth inning, and Ethan is slow getting up. As Ethan was caught stealing, it was slow getting up. Someone in the dugout commenting that he may have hit his head on the bag, but that the second baseman held on to the ball. This one a fly ball, that one playable to the first baseman A.J. Riley, who makes the catch for the second out in the bottom of the fourth. And now here's the catcher Tommy Lindgren, flew out to the center fielder Cyrus Venata in the bottom of the second. And Stoller, first pitch low, ball 1. And 1-0 pitch. Tommy getting hit square in the back. And it'll be a courtesy runner for Lake Stevens. It'll be number 21, Cameron Austin, who will pinch run for Tommy Lindgren. And now here's the number 9 hitter, Caden Pattison. He grounded out to the third baseman, Norris, for the second out in the bottom of the second inning. And Stoller stepping off. And Stoller, first pitch upstairs, ball 1. And Stoller, the 1-0. Hard hit shot. This one getting into the hole in center field. Cameron going to second. The ball gets away from Venata, the center fielder. Cameron's riding around third. The throw to the plate. No, it's cut off by the shortstop. And Lake Stevens has tied this game 2-2. It'll be a single for Caden Pattison, his second base hit of the season. but then he'll get the second off of an error by the center fielder Cyrus Venata, who misplayed the ball. And it would be from that error that the run will score. So now the game is tied at 2, and now we are back to the top of the order in Hunter's Alaska. Got a single in the first inning and a run scored, and a double in the second inning. And Stoller, first pitch. Swing and a miss on the curve.
Let's go, baby!
So Caden Pattison, the game-leading run. He is currently in scoring position at second base. And Stoller, the 0-1 pitch, ball 1. Count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Let's go, kid! Let's go now! Come back!
And the 1-1. A one-hopper past the catcher, Wes Garrett. Caden's going to go to third and will stay there. It'll be a wild pitch. Counts now 2-1. Hunter's Alaska with a chance to give the Vikings the lead here. 2-1. Swung on, a slow ground ball fielded by Stoller, who throws to first. It is in time to end the 4th inning. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on. Lake Stevens ties this game up again at 2-2, and that will take Xander Fogel out of the game after 4 innings, and making his first appearance in relief this year will be number 22, Alex Peterson. As Xander Fogel will finish with a no decision. Alex Peterson will face off against the 9-1 and 2 hitters Leo Furlong, Sana O, and Cyrus Venata, as Lake Stevens looks to keep this game tied. And we are now back in the top of the 5th inning. The game is tied once again. Lake Stevens 2, Kamiak 2. As the Vikings will bring in a new pitcher. It is number 22, Alex Peterson, making his 5th appearance this year and his first relief appearance, as he'll face off against Leo Furlong, the 9-hitter. First pitch from Alex. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Get up, that boy.
He'll face off against the 9-1 and 2 hitters Leo Furlong, Sana O, and Cyrus Venata. And the windup in the 0-1. Fly ball that is playable. This one staying near third base. It is Hunter's Alaska calling for it from his position at shortstop. And he'll make the catch as he runs right near where Theron is stationed at third for the first out in the top of the 5th. Now here is Sana O, the right fielder. 0 for 2 with a ground ball to the pitcher, Xander Fogel, and then a nice diving play by Trey Long at left field. That will end the 3rd. Now Xander Fogel will finish with a no decision after throwing 4 strong innings. First pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Xander, 4 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. He hit 1 batter and threw 2 wild pitches. He threw 52 pitches total. And the 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And Alex Peterson entering this game 2 wins, no losses, an ERA of 8.75. He's allowed 10 earned runs in 8 innings, allowing 11 hits, walking 13 batters, striking out 6. The 1-1 low for a ball 2. So Xander will stay with no wins and no losses. Definitely a big improvement from his last start against the Meadowdale Mavericks, in which he only threw 2 1/3. The 1-0 fly ball, my mistake, it was a 2-1 fly ball foul. Count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Oh, dude, I'm taking a ladder. Did you get on the building?
And the 2-2 by Alex. One hopper to Tommy, count is full.
Let's go, baby! Go get him right here, kid. Let's go. Battle right here now, P.
And Peterson wind up in the payoff. Pitch. Ball 4. As Kamiak has the game-leading run at first base on Sana O. Here is Cyrus Venata, a pair of groundouts entering this at-bat. Ground ball to the second baseman Ethan Jansen and a ground ball to the shortstop Hunter Salasco in the first inning and in the third inning. And Peterson wind up, swing and a miss, strike one.
Do it again.
And Peterson, the throw to first, not in time to get the freshman. So currently the conference playoff situation, if Lake Stevens loses this game, they'll be tied with Glacier Peak for the final playoff spot. If they win, they'll take sole possession of 5th place, the 0-1 upstairs. Count is even at 1-1. If Kamiak wins this game, they'll still not be in playoff contention, but they'll be at a sole possession of 7th place. If they lose, they'll be tied for last place with the Mariner Marauders, who got a win after forfeiting both their games with Glacier Peak. Throw to first, not in time. Glacier Peak right now is 2-4 with a 4-7 overall record, and Mariner 1-5 with a 1-10 overall record. The 1-1 outside, ball 2.
Great spot. Good spot. Good.
And if Lake Stevens wins and Mount Vernon loses, then the Bulldogs and Vikings will be tied for 4th place in the Westcoast Conference. The 2-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 2. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. And currently Cascade playing against Jackson. 2 teams that are tied for 1st place. And Monroe is currently playing Mount Vernon too, so it'll affect the entire conference. The 2-2 outside, full count. Back-to-back full counts for Alex Peterson. He threw a nice payoff pitch to Sana O that unfortunately got outside for a ball 4.
Let's go.
And Peterson throw to first. That is not in time, a close play at first base. And Peterson, the payoff. Foul ball hits the fence.
Great job.
And now let's look over at the Kinko Conference. The hottest team right now in the conference, if not the state, is the Skyline Spartans. They won their last 6 games. Payoff. Strike 3 called. He gets Venata looking for the second out of the 5th. Now bring up Bryce Coate, 1 for 2 with a 2-bagger and a strikeout in the first inning. And in the third inning is where he struck out. As currently in the Kinko standings, Inglemore has sole possession of first place. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Inglemore has sole possession of first place with an 8-2 record. Skyline, they've won their last 6 games. They now have a 7-1 record in conference play. Eastlake, they were one of the top teams in the state. They still are. They're just not as good as what they were a couple of weeks ago. They're 7-3. The 0-1 upstairs, count is even at 1-1. Issaquah currently 6-3. Bothell at the 5 spot at 6-4. Redmond, they went down to 5-4. At one point, they were first place. And the final spot currently now to Mount Si, who has a 4-6 record. They lost to Edmonds Woodway at T-Mobile Park a couple of days ago. The 1-1 in the dirt, ball 2 inside, as Sana O stays at first base. It was for the High School Baseball Classic, if I remember correctly, and there were a number of games there. And Edmonds Woodway, the first team from the Westcoast Conference in many years to play at now T-Mobile Park. They beat Mount Si 4-3 in a 2-1. This hits the fence. Sana O goes to second base on a wild pitch, ball 3. The count now 3 balls and 1 strike. And the same 3 teams that are now out of playoff contention in the Kinko Conference. Woodinville now up to a 2-8 conference record. Timeout by Lake Stevens. Tommy walking up to talk to Alex. And Newport with a 1-7 record. And North Creek, they have lost their last 7 games. They now have the spot in last place. So Monday they played. It was Skyline beating Inglemore 10-4. Woodinville shutting out Newport by a score of 2-0. Bothell beating Mount Si in a shootout 9-7. And Issaquah beating North Creek 7-1. Peterson, 3 balls and 1 strike. Outside, ball 4. And Kamiak has runners on first and second. Here is Ethan Norris. Grounded out to Xander Fogel in the first inning and then got on base on an error off of an errant throw by the third baseman Theron Perkins that forced Tate Brust off of the bag to start the 4th inning, and he was the only run that scored, and at the time he gave the Knights the lead. He was the game-leading run. And Peterson, first pitch, a strike 1. And Redmond beating Eastlake 3-2. And currently it is Issaquah at Skyline, Redmond at Newport, and Woodinville at Mount Si today. As both conferences finish play on April 26th, the 0-1 outside gets away from Tommy Lindgren. A wild pitch, another one. As Sana O goes to third and Bryce Coate goes to second. Count is now 1-1. On Wednesday, it's Bothell Eastlake, Newport Inglemore, Skyline Redmond, Issaquah Woodinville, and North Creek Mount Si. Thursday, there are no 4A teams. And on Friday, it's Newport, Skyline, Inglemore, and Issaquah. Redmond and Bothell, that's going to be a good game. And the Eastlake and North Creek have blowout waiting to happen. 1-1 inside, ball 2. Timeout by Lake Stevens. Josh White walking up to the mound to talk to Alex Peterson and Tommy Lindgren. Kamiak with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. They have runners on second and third in a tie ball game. Lake Stevens, their next game will be on tomorrow, April 10th. They'll play on the road against the Cascade Bruins, who are currently playing at Mill Creek against Jackson. And Kamiak will play their next game on the road against the Mount Vernon Bulldogs, whom the Vikings will play after the Cascade series. It was either that or Glacier Peak. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch. Fly ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Yes, that is true. It's Cascade, Mount Vernon, Glacier Peak, and then Mariner. 2-2. In the dirt, ball 3. Runners stay. As it is the 3rd full count for Alex Peterson in this inning. As Dominic Gray was warming up for the Vikings just a little bit ago.
Go 2-2. Go get him right here, kid. Give him a seat.
And the windup and the payoff pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. It is the 3rd walk for Alex Peterson. Now bring up A.J. Riley. He's been hit in the 2nd inning and got a base hit in the 4th.
Let's go, Petey! Give him a chair! Throw him the chair! Let's go, Petey!
Number 22 versus number 22. Alex Peterson versus A.J. Riley. The windup in the first pitch. Strike one looking. He got hit on the first pitch he saw in the second inning, and then got the fourth inning's only base hit, and is one of 3 different Kamiak players to get a base hit. And the 0-1, Peterson, low, ball 1. Sana O at third, Bryce Coate at second, Ethan Norris at first.
Hey, Petey, 2 more, just like, come on now. Go, Alex. Go after him.
And the windup in the 1-1, strike 2. Count now down to 1 ball and 2 strikes against A.J. Riley with the bases loaded.
Come on, Doug, Alex, go. 1, 2, go, baby. Let's go. You got it, baby. Let's go. Get it done.
And the 1-2 pitch, Peterson, chopper foul near the Kamiak dugout.
Go, Alex. Good kid. Yeah, boys. Go.
Count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alex ahead of the count. 22 versus 22. Alex steps off. Sana O at third. Bryce Coate at second. Ethan Norris at first. And the windup in the 1-2. Chopper goes to Zelasco. Toss it to first. It is in time to end the 5th. Alex Peterson leaves the Kamiak Knights with the bases loaded and no runs will score on no hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on. Game is still tied at 2 as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. It is currently still Nicholas Stoller as he goes up to the mound. He'll face off against Tanner Lind, Theron Perkins, and Aaron Lampin in the heart of the order as the Vikings look to retake the lead again. And we are now back into the bottom of the 5th inning. Game is still tied at Lake Stevens 2, Kamiak 2. Nicholas Stoller has thrown 56 pitches through 4 innings. He'll face off against Tanner Lind. First pitch inside for a ball 1. He'll face off against the heart of the order, center fielder Tanner Lind, the third baseman Theron Perkins, and the designated hitter Aaron Lampinen. Lind got a base hit in the first inning, got a stolen base, and was thrown out at home on a fielder's choice. The 1-0, hard hit shot going on the right. Sana O going back. Back goes Sana O. He makes the catch as he takes a few steps back to make it for the first out in the bottom of the 5th. Here is Theron Perkins, the third baseman. He is 0 for 2 with a flyout 2-0 and a strikeout looking to start the bottom of the 3rd inning. After a near 2-bagger, a strikeout looking. And it's the only strikeout victim for Stoller this afternoon. The windup, first pitch, and an off-speed curve inside for a ball 1.
Come on now! Let's go! Let's go, Let's go, baby!
And the windup in the 1-0, and a one-hopper to the catcher Wes Garrett, ball 2. And the windup to 2-0. Swing and a missed strike 1. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Stoller getting the sign from Garrett, the pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. Stoller with only 1 strikeout and 1 walk. And that was back in the first inning against Trey Long as the chance to get a second one. And the windup in the 3-1 pitch. Ground ball. This one getting past the glove of a diving Nick Lahman as he dove to his right. And he could not get the ball. It'll be a 1-out single. Theron Perkins, the game-leading run for the Vikings. at first base. Here is Aaron Lampinen, who got an RBI single in the bottom of the first, and then flew out to the left fielder Damon Krause in the bottom of the third inning. And Stoller, hard hit golf shot going in the left. Back goes Krause, he makes the catch. He stutters for a little bit and is able to make the catch while almost falling down, and it'll be the second out of the fifth inning. Another line out by Lampinen to the left fielder. Here is Trey Long, who is Stoller's only walk. And he also popped out to the pitcher Stoller to end the third. First pitch, a hard hit shot. This is going into center field. That will fall. Gets past Veneta. Theron's going to round around third. He is going to score. Trey is going to third for 3. Trey Long is going to stay. And he has an RBI triple. The center fielder, Cyrus Veneta, tried diving for it. And it ended up going all the way to the wall. Lake Stevens retakes the lead on an RBI 3-bagger. Theron scoring all the way from first. And the Vikings lead 3-2. Here is Ethan Jansen. And Stoller, first pitch. Hard hit shot. This will go into center field. Back goes the center fielder Veneta. He is under it and will make the catch right near the wall to end the bottom of the fifth. It is 1 run off of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on, highlighted by the RBI triple by Trey Long. As the Vikings retake the lead, we now go into the top of the 6th inning. Alex Peterson now is online for his 3rd win of the season. He'll face off against the 6, 7, and 8 hitters Wes Garrett, Damon Krause, and Nick Lahman, who will face off against Peterson for the first time this afternoon. 3-0 Lake Stevens. Or my mistake, 3-2 Lake Stevens. And we are now back in the top of the 6th inning. Alex Peterson back on the mound, facing off against the catcher Wes Garrett for the first time this afternoon. He got an RBI fielder's choice and got on base on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. It was the only run in that inning. First pitch, a strike one looking, and the catcher, a big contributor to both Kamiak runs this afternoon. The 0-1 upstairs, ball 1. It'll be Ethan Norris and another pitcher that is number 6, Carson Swistak, who are both warming up in the bullpen. The 1-1 pitch, a foul ball, as Garrett is chasing that one. Got now 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the windup and the 1-2 by Peterson. Swing and a miss. Nope, foul. Garrett getting a piece of that one. In the 2nd inning, he got on base on a fielder's choice and was the only run. In the 4th inning, he hit in the other Kamiak run on a fielder's choice that Theron Perkins picked up, that he threw to home instead of throwing to second for a possible double play. The 1-2 swing and a miss, and that is another foul. The past 2 pitches, the ball getting away from Tommy Lindgren. And the 1-2 fly ball, playable. This one going into short center field. Ethan Jansen calling for it, and will make the catch for the first out in the 6th inning. Now bring up Damon Krause, who's been walked in his only 2 plate appearances. Entering today, was walked in the 2nd inning, stranded at 2nd. He was walked in the 4th and was stranded at 1st. And Peterson, the first pitch. Outside, ball 1. And the 1-0 by Peterson, inside, ball 2. And the 2-0 pitch, swing and a missed, strike 1.
I'm up. I can put the ball in play here. Come on now.
And the windup in the 2-1. Foul.
No, we're back.
As it will fall, it will hit the rock bed and will bounce back to the fence. Count is even at 2-2. And the 2-2 by Peterson, outside, ball 3. Another full count. And the windup, the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Peterson getting Damon Kraus looking.
When have we ever done that?
For the second strikeout of the afternoon for Peterson, here's the shortstop, Nick Lahman. 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the second, and was the only strikeout victim of Xander Fogel in the top of the 4th. Now in the Kamiak bullpen, it's only Carson Swistak. First pitch. Low, ball 1. My mistake, that is a pinch hitter for the Kamiak Knights. That'll be number 7, Andrew Moore. And the 1-0, upstairs, ball 2.
Billy! Go twos! Go B!
Peterson had a rough fifth inning, 16 balls and 15 strikes to 2-0, upstairs, ball 3. With a total of 31 pitches. Through the 6-batter long 5th inning, 3 balls, no strikes. Peterson, the windup. Strike 1 looking right down the middle. And the 3-1, ball 4. It'll be the 4th walk for Peterson in an inning and 2/3. As Kamiak has the game-tying run at first base, timeout by Lake Stevens. They might take Peterson out of the game. Yes, they will. And pinch running for Andrew Moore will be number 9, Nick Lahman. And it'll be a new pitcher for the Lake Stevens Vikings. It'll be number 1, Dominic Gray. I'll take a quick break here. It'll be the top of the 6th inning. Runner at first with 2 outs. Lake Stevens leads 3-2. And we are now back into the top of the 6th inning. Lake Stevens, they have a 3-2 lead against the Kamiak Knights, but the Knights have a runner at first with 2 outs. And that will be Nick Lahman, who was pinch hit for by Andrew Moore, and now is the 9-hitter Leo Furlong against Dominic Gray. First pitch, a foul ball, hits the fence right above the on-deck circle for Lake Stevens. So Alex Peterson finishes with an inning and 2/3, throwing 48 pitches, allowing no hits, walking 4 batters, and striking out 2, throwing 2 wild pitches. Currently no earned runs, although that may change. Throw to first, and it gets Lahman out of the rundown. Throw to second is in time, and they get Lahman out to end the inning. What a play by Dominic Gray, throwing to first. Lahman ended up going to second, and he'll throw to Zalasko. It's a 1-3-6. And once again, Leo Furlong will not finish his at-bat at the end of an inning, as it'll be no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. As Lake Stevens, they still have a 3-2 lead over the Kamiak Knights. As the Knights bring in a new pitcher, that is number 15, Ethan Norris, who was the third baseman, and now playing at third base will be number 6, Carson Swistak, as Norris will face off against the bottom 3 hitters, Tate Brust, Tommy Lindgren, and Caden Pattison. In the bottom of the 6th, the Vikings looking to extend their 3-2 lead. And we are now back into the bottom of the 6th inning. Lake Stevens, they have a 1-run lead over the Kamiak Knights, and the Knights have brought in a new pitcher in number 15, Ethan Norris, the starting third baseman. First pitch to Tate Brust is upstairs and inside, ball 1. They'll face off against the bottom 3 hitters of the order, Tate Brust, Bailey Corley will pinch hit for Tommy Lindgren, and Caden Pattison. And a 1-0, a swing and a miss, strike 1, gets off of the bat and will hit the catcher's mask of the home plate umpire. And Norris, the 1-1 pitch. Foul ball. Counts now 1-2. Nicholas Stoller finishing with 5 innings, throwing 67 pitches, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. He'll hit a batter and had a wild pitch and is currently on line for the loss. The 1-2. Hard hit, fly ball that is playable. Right near the third base line, the third baseman Carson Swistak calling for it and making the catch for the first out. Now here is Bailey Corley, who will pinch hit for Tommy Lindgren at the 8th spot.
Let's go! Go, B4! Come back! Get on, baby! Here we go!
And the first pitch, ball 1. And Norris currently pitching in his 4th game. And the 1-0, strike 1 looking. Evening the count at 1-1. Norris currently 0-1 with an ERA of 3.94 in his 4th game. He has thrown 5 1/3 innings, allowing 6 hits and 3 earned runs to 1-1. Foul ball, 1-2. He has walked 2 batters and struck out 4. Count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, and that will that hit Bailey? And now they're saying that it does hit him. Looked like it hit him on the arm right next to the bat. And now Cameron Austin will pinch run for Bailey Corley. And now Josh White talking to the home plate umpire about the pinch run change.
Let's go!
As Caden Pattison will now come up to the plate. Same situation as in the bottom of the 4th. Now tries bunting for it. That is a strike. As Caden went through with it. And the 0-1. Strike 2. And the 0-2 pitch outside, ball 1. And the 1-2 pitch swing and a miss, strike three is the first strikeout for Norris. And it brings us to the top of the order for the fourth time around. Hunter Zelasco 2 for 3 with a double and a run.
Go Hunt. Come in.
And the throw to first, it gets past the first baseman Riley. Austin's going to second. And there'll be another error. There'll be another error for Kamiak, this time on the pitcher. And the Vikings now have insurance and scoring position at second base. Timeout by Kamiak. As Wes Garrett walks up to the mound. And Norris, first pitch. Ball one inside.
There you go.
And the 1-0 Norris. Inside ball two. And Norris, 2-0. Swing and a miss, strike one. And the 2-1. Strike two. Norris getting Zelasco with the curve, evening the count. Austin at second. Looks over at second, doesn't get Austin at second base. And the 2-2. Strike three called. He gets Zelasco looking for the second strikeout, and that will end the bottom of the sixth. No runs, no hits, no errors. My mistake, one error, and one runner left on. Kamiak, they lead 3-2. Dominic Gray will pitch in the top of the seventh to try and finish off the Kamiak Knights to complete the sweep. He'll face off against Leo Furlong, Sana O, and Cyrus Vanata, the 9-1 and 2 hitters, as they look to try and tie this game up and to bring this game into the bottom of the seventh inning. 3-2 Lake Stevens as we go into the top of the seventh. And we are now back into the top of the seventh inning. Dominic Gray on the mound, looking to finish off the Kamiak Knights. Will face off against the number 9 hitter Leo Furlong, who had his at-bat halted for the second time this afternoon. The last inning, first pitch, a fly ball going into center field. Back goes Devin McWaters, the center fielder. Furlong looking to two, and he will get two. It'll be a leadoff double for Leo Furlong. Devin McWaters now at center field. And Tanner moving back to left. Timeout by Lake Stevens. Josh White going to talk to Dominic Gray and the new catcher, Trey Long. There will be a few defensive changes, as Caden Patterson will stay at right. Devin McWaters is now at center field. Tanner Lind moving back to left, and Trey Long is now the catcher behind the plate. Currently there is a pitcher warming up in the bullpen for the Vikings, and Chris Cashman. They'll bring up Sana O, the leadoff hitter, and for the fourth time around, he is 0 for 2 with a walk in the fifth. Infield is in. Looks over, and Dominic Reyes sees that there is nobody at the second base bag. Theron and Tate moving towards the plate. Zelasco moving towards third. I think Ethan was moving towards home plate as well. He was right near the mound. And my guess is that he was the guy who's supposed to be in the bag. And the same thing right here. Ethan this time at the bag. Throw to second is not in time. Same situation here. And we've had this happen before, and it ended with a couple of very nice plays throughout the year. There was one play where, if I remember correctly, it was Trey, who was the first baseman, who made a nice catch and ended up tossing it to Aaron Lampinen, who was the second baseman. Same thing happening here. Aaron this time going to the first base bag. First pitch inside, ball one. Kamiak, the game-tying run at second base. 1 ball, no strikes. Looks over at Furlong, 1-0. Ball 2.
Aaron, you gotta respect it. Let's go, baby.
And the 2-0 swung on. Short fly ball that will fall. And Furlong will stay at third. As Kamiak now has runners on the corners for Cyrus Venata, the center fielder. And Venata 0 for 3 with a pair of groundouts and a strikeout as he grounded out to the second baseman, Ethan Jansen, and the shortstop, Hunter Zelasco, in the first inning and in the third inning, and he struck out in the fifth inning against Alex Peterson. And Dominic throw to first, not in time. That is a balk by Dominic. And Lake Stevens manager Josh White talking to the infield umpire about the balk call. It will move Sana-O to second. And the call will stay. Kamiak has a runner on second and third. And a run will score because of it. The balk will score the run. The game is now tied once again, this time at 3-3. And the game leading run is at second base for Kamiak. First pitch for Dominic. Strike one looking. It will score Furlong from third. And so there will be a bottom of the seventh inning, and it will be Tanner Lynn, Theron Perkins, and Aaron Lampinen, the heart of the order. The 0-1, a line shot to Theron. Nice snag. Throw to first is in time for the first out, as Sana-O will stay at second base. Now bring up Bryce Coate, a double in the first inning, struck out in the third, and was walked on a 3-1 count against Alex Peterson in the fifth, and was stranded at second. And now they're going to intentionally walk Bryce Coate, and they're going to bring in the cleanup hitter, Ethan Norris.
Got that play in order.
As Josh White's thinking double play here against Ethan Norris, who is the new pitcher for Kamiak. A ground out to the pitcher, Xander Fogel, in the first inning. He got on base on an error by Theron in the fourth and was the only run that scored. And then a walk in the fifth brought him on base. Fly ball, this one going into center field. Devin McWaters calling for it. Sana O's going to stay at second. They'll go for the second out in the seventh. Now here is A.J. Riley. It was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Got a base hit in the fourth and grounded out to the shortstop, Hunter Zalasko, in the fifth inning. A base hit could give the Knights the lead here. And Dominic, first pitch. Foul ball hits the fence right next to the backstop. Count starts at 0-1.
There, 2 outs. Give yourself some space.
And Dominic looking at Sana at second. Timeout by AJ.
Get the hitter, Dom. Dom's gonna. Yeah, just a little bit.
Bryce Coate at first. Sana O at second. The 0-1.
Yeah, baby.
Outside, ball one. It was announced earlier today that the Lake Stevens junior varsity game at Kamiak High School against the Knights had been pushed back to Thursday, April 11th. So the JV team, a number of their players were warming up before the game. And the 1-1 swung on, ground ball. This gets past Theron. Sana O will be riding around third, and Kamiak will have the lead again. Throw to second is not in time. The Bryce Coate. An RBI single by A.J. Riley gives the Knights a 4-3 lead in the top of the seventh. The ball gets past the glove of a diving Theron Perkins, and it'll bring up Wes Garrett. 2 fielders' choices. And a pop out to the second baseman, Ethan Jansen. There'll be a pinch runner for Bryce Coate, and that will be number 12, Chris Peterson. Timeout by Lake Stevens. And they're going to bring back Tanner Lind on the mound, as there will be another pitching change. As we'll take a quick break. Once again, it'll be the top of the seventh inning. Kamiak with a 4-3 lead, and they have a runner on first and second. And we are now back in the top of the seventh. Kamiak has scored 2 runs in the top of the seventh to take a 4-3 lead. And the Vikings bring in their 4th pitcher of the afternoon, and number 23, Tanner Lind. 1 win and no losses. Entering today with an ERA of 1.37. First pitch, a ball 1 to Wes Garrett. Dominic Gray throwing 2/3 of an inning, throwing 10 pitches, allowing 3 hits, no walks, no strikeouts. Fly ball, this one's playable. Going into center field, Cameron Austin is calling for it and will make the catch. So that'll be the end of the 7th inning. Kamiak, they get 2 runs on the board on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on. As we now go into the bottom of the 7th inning, Ethan Norris will be on the mound. He'll face off against the heart of the order, Tanner Lind, Theron Perkins, and Aaron Lampinen, as the Vikings look to walk it off against the Kamiak Knights. They trail 4-3.
Hey, we
And we are now back in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kamiak has just scored 2 runs in the top of the inning to take a 4-3 lead, as Ethan Norris will face off for the first time against the number 2 hitter Tanner Lind, who is 1 for 3 with a base hit in the first inning. The windup and the first pitch by Norris, ball 1. Norris, he threw 17 pitches in the bottom of the 6th, 5 balls and 12 strikes, and in this inning he'll face off against Tanner Lind, Theron Perkins, and Aaron Lampinen. And the 1-0, outside, ball 2. Lake Stevens, they need 1 run to tie and 2 to walk it off here at Lake Stevens High School. And Norris, the 2-0. Upstairs, ball 3. Tanner Lind, he has 14 stolen bases this year, 14 of 15. So if he gets on the base pass, that is crucial. And they wind up. Strike 1 looking. And they wind up the 3-1. Strike 2. Count is full. Full count on the first batter. Norris, the windup. Hard hit shot going in the left. That will be caught by Damon Krause for the first out. Now here is Theron Perkins, 1 for 3 with a single and the only run in the 5th inning. That's the 3rd time that Damon Krause has to really reach to get a line out. Didn't really have to move that much. Norris, hard hit ground ball, that is foul. Just past the left field line. And the 0-1, Norris, inside, ball 2. My mistake, inside, ball 1. And the windup, the 1-1. Ground ball, this gets into the glove of Swistak, who throws to first. It is not in time, it gets out of the glove of A.J. Riley. An error by Swistak gets the game-tying run aboard. It was a slow throw from Swistak, and A.J. Riley tried to one-hop it, tried to get the pick, he couldn't get it. Now here is Aaron Lampinen, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. First pitch, strike 1. And the 0-1, strike 2. Theron, throw to second is not in time, as Theron gets a stolen base. The game-tying run now in scoring position, as Theron Perkins gets his 10th stolen base of the season. No balls and 2 strikes. Norris, low, ball 1. A base hit could tie it.
Yes, baby! Nice one!
Norris, the 1-2. Hard hit shot. This one is fair! That's a fair ball! No, wait a minute. That one just barely getting foul. Another close play, and the count stays at 1-2. Lampinen still at the plate, a breather for Norris. He steps off. And Norris, swing and a miss, strike 3, got him with the curve. And now here is Trey Long. He hit the RBI triple in the 5th that gave the Vikings a 3-2 lead. The last chance for the Lake Stevens Vikings. And Norris, fly ball, left field, back goes Kraus. Kraus going back, he's looking back, he will not make the catch. Farron is going to score. Lake Stevens has tied this game on an RBI double by Trey Long. A double in the 5th inning and a triple. A triple in the 5th inning and a double in the 7th. And Lake Stevens has tied this game 4-4. Here is Ethan Jansen with a chance to walk it off here at Lake Stevens High School. Norris, fly ball, that is short left field. That is going to be caught by Kraus. That will end the inning. We will go into extras in the top of the 8th. It is 1 run off of 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner left on. We now go into the top of the 8th. Tanner Lind back on the mound. He'll face off against Damon Kraus. Nick Lumen, assuming that he is brought back in, and Leo Furlong as we go into the top of the 8th. Lake Stevens 4, Kamiak 4. And we are now back in the top of the 8th inning. The first extra innings game of the season for the Lake Stevens Vikings. It comes in the 11th game of the season. My mistake, the 12th game of the season here at Lake Stevens High School. Tanner Lind back on the mound against Damon Kraus. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. As Dominic Gray at one point, he was in line for the loss. Now he's going to get a no decision. As he was the last pitcher, ball 1. And Tanner will face off against the bottom 3 hitters, Damon Kraus, Nick Lahman, who has returned back to lineup. The 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. And Leo Furlong, who hit the leadoff double in the top of the 7th, and was one of the 2 runs that scored. And the 1-2 by Tanner. Foul ball, it's defense.
No doubles. He's on the line. Yep.
Count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tanner, he threw only 2 pitches. They were both to the catcher, Wes Garrett, who've popped out to the center fielder, Devin McWaters, the 1-2. And that is a strike 3 called. Tanner Lind getting Damon Kraus swinging. My mistake, looking. That's the 2nd consecutive at bat that Kraus has been struck out. Near his Nick Lahman. He was pinch hit for Andrew Moore in the 6th inning. First, a hard hit ball. That is foul. A screamer. It hits. It'll fall behind the Lake Stevens dugout. Counted 0-1. So there's also a couple defensive changes as well. Cameron Austin is now at center field. My mistake, not Devin McWaters. Another screamer for an 0-1 pitch. A chopper towards the Kamiak dugout. As Devin McWaters is now at left field. And it was Cameron Austin who made the catch to end the 7th at center field. And Tanner, the 0-2. And another screamer, another chopper towards the dugout. And Tanner wind up in the 0-2. Upstairs, ball 1. Tanner entered this game 1 win, no losses, an ERA of 1.37. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Tanner getting Lahman with the curve, 2 strikeouts now. And here is Leo Furlong. He hit the first pitch double in the 7th and scored from 3rd on a balk by Gray. First pitch, a strike 1 looking. And the 0-1, strike 2. Count is 0-2. Tanner Lind, an amazing job here in the top of the 8th. The 0-2. And ball 1. Trey thought that was a strike 3. He was ready to walk towards the dugout. But it's the 3rd consecutive 1-2 count for Tanner. And the windup in the 1-2. Fly ball. That will fall fair as Tate Brust tried going for it. Furlong going to second. The throw is not in time. Leo Furlong has a 2-out double. It'll be a bloop double for Leo Furlong. Tate Brust tried getting that one right near the first base line. He fell. Furlong immediately was going to second. And Brust threw to Hunter Zelasco. And is not able to get him. Now we go to Sana-O. We got a base hit. And now the umpires are talking about something. It's actually hard to tell exactly what they're trying to say. Yeah, they're saying that he is safe. That Zelasco did not tag Furlong. And now the Knights have the game-leading run at second base. Leadoff hitter Sana-O is back-to-back doubles by Furlong, the 9-hitter. And for the 5th time around is the top of the order Sana-O. Got a base hit and scored the 2nd run in the top of the 7th. And Tanner, first pitch. Ball 1. The 1-0, strike 1 looking. And Tanner looking at Furlong at second, the 1-1. Ball 2. And Tanner the 2-1. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Count is even. That ball is outside. Oh, called for it 2-2. And Tanner ahead of the count. The pitch. Check swing, did he go? Throw to third, is it in time? Yes, it is, he got Furlong at third. And that will end the 8th inning. Trey with a late throw, but from his knees, he makes the throw to Theron to get him out. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. And nobody left on. Is still 4-4. We go into the bottom of the 8th inning. Ethan Norris back on the mound. He'll face off against the bottom 3 hitters of the order. Tate Brust. My best assumption if Bailey Corley is still pinch hitting, and Caden Pattison, as we go into the bottom of the 8th inning. Game is still tied at 4. And we are now back in the bottom of the 8th inning. Game is still tied at 4-4. Ethan Norris back on the mound. He'll take on Tate Brust, as he is 0 for 3 with a fielder's choice and a couple of pop-outs. First pitch, low, ball 1. Norris had a pretty rough 7th inning. 5 balls, 11 strikes, 16 pitches, allowing that game-tying run. It'll be unearned towards Norris, though. He has a total of 33 pitches through 2 innings. And the 1-0, Norris. Strike 1. And it'll be another pinch hitter at the 8th spot. That'll be Devin McWaters, who is the new center fielder for the Vikings. And the 1-1. Upstairs, ball 2. And the 2-1. Hard hit shot. This is going into right center field. Back goes Sana-O. And Venata will make the catch right near the wall. It's a well-hit ball by Tate Brust, but it'll be the first out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now here is Devin McWaters. And Norris the first pitch. Outside, ball 1. McWaters 3 for 11 with 3 singles and is 2 for 3 in stolen bases. entering this at bat. And the 1-0. Outside ball 2. Norris 2-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And the 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Norris, the windup. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Norris gets McWater swinging for the second, my mistake, the 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Norris. Now here is Caden Pattison. Got a base hit in the 4th inning. He struck out swinging in the 6th. And Pattison trying to start something here in the 8th inning. And Norris, swing and a miss, strike 1. And Norris the windup in 0-1. Hard hit shot. This is foul past the left field line. And Norris ahead of the count, no balls and 2 strikes, getting the sign from the catcher, Wes Garrett. Wind up the pitch. And this ball gets away from the catcher, Garrett. Ball 1. And the 1-2 by Norris. Foul chopper hits the fence. Count stays at 1-2. Kamiak, both these guys actually, they're trying to pay attention to their pitch counts. For Kamiak, looks like they might just be using the same guys, just using them up as much as they can for the week. The 1-2. Ground ball, this one going to Swiss Stack. Throw to third is in time for the 3rd out in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 1-2-3 inning by Ethan Norris. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on at the end of 8. Tanner Lind going back to the mound in the top of the 9th. They'll face off against the leadoff hitter, Sana O, the Cyrus Venata, the number 2 hitter, and Bryce Coates, as Sana O tries to finish up his at-bat in the top of the 8th. Once again, the score, Lake Stevens 4, Kamiak 4, as we stay in extra innings. And we are now back in the top of the 9th inning. Lake Stevens 4, Kamiak 4. Tanner Lind back on the mound, looking to throw his 2nd full inning of work, as he'll face off against the leadoff hitter, Sana O. Strike 1 looking. His at-bat was halted on a full count after Leo Furlong was thrown out at 3rd, the 0-1. And a strike 2.
I like it. 0-2 nasty right now. 0-2 nasty.
And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He gets Sana O swinging on 3 pitches. And Tanner entering this inning, throwing 21 pitches. First pitch, fly ball, a line shot straight to the second baseman, Ethan Jansen from Cyrus Venata for the 2nd out. A nice heads-up play by Jansen to get the 2nd out of the 9th. Now here is Bryce Coates, who was intentionally walked in part of a double play opportunity that did not work. First pitch, strike 1.
Oh, no.
And the 0-1 and a foul chopper. Count now 0-2.
3. 0-2. More. Just like Tanner.
Now, just like the 8th inning, Tanner is doing a
Go, baby.
amazing job at the mound. Tanner will also be one of the 3 hitters that'll be at the plate starting in the bottom of the 9th. The 0-2. One hopper to the catcher, Trey Long.
Let me try it. What work? Go, babe.
Count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tanner Lynn looking to close out the 9th. The 1-2, the windup. And low ball 2. Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 by Tanner. Inside, full count. Just gets inside. And the payoff pitch by Tanner. Swing, no foul. Hits the wood right next to the backstop as the count stays full.
Go, baby.
And the windup, the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. He gets caught looking. What a masterful performance by Tanner Lind here. His 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Ends the top of the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on as we now go into the bottom of the 9th inning. As Ethan Norris will walk back up to the mound again. He'll face off against the top 3 hitters, Hunter Salasco, Tanner Lind, and Theron Perkins. Lake Stevens 4, Kamiak 4. And what a better time to walk it off than in the bottom of the 9th inning. And we are now back in the bottom of the 9th inning. Game is tied 4-4. Ethan Norris against the leadoff hitter Hunter Salasco, who is up at the plate for the 5th time around. He is 2 for 4 with a run. First pitch, strike 1. Got a single in the 1st inning and scored a run. Got a double in the 2nd. Ground out to the pitcher at the time, Nicholas Stoller, and then struck out looking against Norris in the 6th. And Norris the 0-1. Strike 2.
I'm not gonna go. Let's go, Hunt. Let's go, Hunt. Let's go.
And the 0-2 Norris. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets Salasco swing to start the 9th. Now here is Tanner Lind, 1 for 4 with a single and a stolen base in the 1st, and he had 3 flyouts. First one to the center fielder in the 2nd. The 2nd one to the right fielder in the 5th, and the 3rd one to the left fielder in the 7th. First pitch low to the catcher Wes Garrett for a ball 1. Norris has thrown 47 pitches through 3 innings of work. The 1-0. Inside ball 2. Tanner on the base paths. He is 14 for 15. As I mentioned in the 6th inning, he is a menace on the base pass. 2-0. Strike 1 looking. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch by Norris. Outside, ball 3. Norris behind on the count, the 2nd batter in the bottom of the 9th. And the windup, the pitch. Ball 4, the game-winning run is aboard. And the first time that a Lake Stevens batter has been walked since the bottom of the 1st inning. And it'll bring up Theron Perkins. He's 1 for 3 with a stolen base and 2 runs. And the pitch, foul ball, it's the fence. Behind home plate, start off 0-1. And Norris 0-1. Strike two, the throw to second is not in time, Tanner safe! What did I say? He is a menace on the base pass. He has 15 stolen bases. Count is 0-2. Tanner 15 for 16 now, 2 away for the single season record in stolen bases. The game-winning run is at second base. That was a huge jump by Tanner. Ball, nope, strike three called. That was a little too high. As Theron gets struck out for the second time this afternoon, here is Aaron Lampinen, 1 for 4 with an RBI single. And Norris, strike one. Count is 0-1. Tanner is at second. Norris. Fly ball. That will go to right field. Back goes Sada. He is looking back. He will make the catch to end the ninth. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on after 9. The game is still tied at 4. And Tanner Lind, yes, he will come back to the mound in the top of the 10th. He'll face off against the middle of the order, Ethan Norris, A.J. Riley, and Wes Garrett. Game is still tied at 4 as we go into the top of the 10th inning. And we are now back into the top of the 10th inning. The first time since 2013 that a Wesco game has gone into double-digit innings. And Tanner Lind, the first pitch to Ethan Norris, swing and a miss, strike one. And Tanner, the 0-1 pitch, under it, ball one. And Tanner, 32 pitches in 2 1/3 innings of work entering this inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike, ball 2. And the 2-1. Strike 2, count is even. At 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 and a slow roller foul.
Get that first one. Let's go. All right, baby. All right, kid. Baby.
And the 2-2 by Tanner. Hard hit shot going into left. And Kamiak gets a leadoff single from Ethan Norris. And they'll now bring up A.J. Riley, who hit the RBI single in the top of the 7th that gave the Knights the lead. So now we have a final score. We have a final score from the Jackson Cascade game. First pitch, ball 1, Cascade winning by the final score of 5-1. So the Bruins will have an 8-4 record and a 5-1 conference record entering tomorrow's game with the Vikings. Ball 2. A.J. Riley, he is 2 for 4 with 2 singles and an RBI. And Tanner looking at Norris at first, the windup. Strike 1 looking. Currently some activity in the bullpen. Chris Cashman warming up. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike two, count is even. And Tanner with 4 strikeouts on the afternoon. Two in the 8th inning, 2 in the 9th. The 2-2. And a slow roller foul. It'll fall right near the Lake Stevens dugout along the first base line. And the 2-2, fly ball. Be another foul. Kamiak with the game-leading run at first base. The 2-2, upstairs, ball 3. Ball gets away from Trey. Norris goes to second. Count is now full at 3-2. And the payoff pitch, ball 4.
Hey, got a double play in order.
As Kamiak has runners on first and second for Wes Garrett. 2 fielders' choices and 2 pop-outs. Or my mistake, 2 fielders' choices, a pop-out and a fly-out. Timeout by Lake Stevens. Theron Perkins going to talk to Tanner.
Hey, you got out, baby. Gavin.
Garrett looking to bunt, ball 1. Runner goes to third, and he'll get away from Zelasco. And a run will go home. The throw to plate is not in time. Lake Stevens has the lead off of a Lake Stevens miscue on defense. The ball gets off of the glove of Zelasco as he tries to get Ethan Norris out at third. It'll be a stolen base to third and an error home. Kamiak has a 5-4 lead.
Keep fighting. Let's go, baby. Come on, Tanner. Aaron, it's still a bunt situation, dude. Bunt!
1-0, tries bunting for it. This one going to Tate. Toss it to first, it is in time. They got him! And a close play at first base.
Why are we not looking for it? It's still playing in the brown, dude.
It'll move A.J. Riley the third. And now Kevin Agnew, the Kamiak manager, saying that he ran into Ethan Jansen's glove. Ethan Jansen, the one who fielded the ball at the first base bag. And that'll be the first out in the top of the 10th. It'll move him to third. It'll bring up Damon Kraus. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. First pitch, ball 1. So the first 3 batters for Lake Stevens in the bottom of the 10th. That'll be Trey Long, Ethan Jansen, and Tate Bruss. This on a fly ball foul. Count is even at 1-1. And the 1-1 slow roller foul. Count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Tanner now on a 1 ball and 2 strike count. And the windup and the pitch. 1 hopper to Trey.
Let's go, baby.
And the 2-2. Strike three called. He gets Kraus looking as Damon Kraus strikes out looking for the third consecutive at-bat. Now here is Nick Lahman with a chance to knock in some insurance here in the top of the 10th. Got an RBI single, a couple of strikeouts, and was walked. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. Or my mistake, that walk was for Andrew Moore. Nick Lahman is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. And the 0-1. Line shot into the hole in center. Another run's going to score. On an RBI single by Nick Lahman is now 6-4. Now bring up Leo Furlong coming off back-to-back doubles. And Tanner, the first pitch. Check swing, ball one. And Trey checking with the infield umpire, and he says, no, he did not go. And the 1-0, ball two. And Tanner, the 2-0. Strike one looking. And the 2-1, Tanner. Low, ball three. And Tanner 3-1, the pitch. Strike two, full count. A full count on Leo Furlong.
Let's go, baby.
And the payoff pitch, runner goes, swing and a miss, strike three. That will end the inning. It is strikeout number 6 for Tanner Lynn, but the Knights get 2 runs on the board. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error. And 1 runner left on. Ethan Norris back on the mound in the bottom of the 10th as the Vikings will bring in the 5, 6, and 7 hitters Trey Long, Ethan Jansen, and Tate Brust to score. Kamiak 6, Lake Stevens 4 as we go into the bottom of the 10th inning. And we are now back in the bottom of the 10th inning. Kamiak trying to seal this game away. First pitch, a fly ball that's looks like it's playable. Carson Swistak trying to make the catch, but it'll hit the top of the Kamiak dugout to start the at-bat. No 1 count. It'll be Ethan Norris, who has thrown 62 pitches through 4 full innings of work and is currently online for the win. He'll face off against Trey Long, then Ethan Jansen, then Tate Brust as the Vikings are down by 2. The 0-1, hard hit shot. This one going in the center. Back goes Venata. Venata looking back, makes the catch for the first out. Venata doing most of the dirty work out in center field. He has been running to different parts of the outfield to try and make any catch that is needed for Kamiak. Now here's Ethan Jansen, who is 1 for 4 with a fielder's choice and a single. First pitch outside away from Wes Garrett, ball 1.
Let's go, baby!
And the 1-0. Hard hit shot, foul. Evens the count at 1-1.
Hey, let's go,
Lake Stevens, they are down by 2. They need 2 to tie and 3 to walk it off here in the bottom of the 10th. And the windup, Norris to 1-1. Ball 2 upstairs. And currently Devin McWater still in on the 8th spot. And the 2-1. Low ball 3. And Norris wind up in the 3-1. Hard hit ball that is going to fall for a base hit in left field. And Ethan Jansen has a 1-out single, his second hit of the afternoon. Now bring up Tate Brust, 0 for 4 with a fielder's choice in the first inning. A pair of pop-outs and a fly-out. And a pair of pop-outs to A.J. Riley and Carson Swistak. And then a fly ball in the 8th inning to the center fielder Cyrus Venata. First pitch. Hard hit ball going in the left. That is going to be foul. It definitely had home run distance, but it will land in foul territory. And the count will start at 0-1. And Devin McWaters on deck in the 8th spot. First pitch, a fly ball. Count 0-2. And Tate behind on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Outside, ball 1. And the 1-2 inside, count is even, 2-2 at bat, stays alive. And the 2-2, fly ball playable. This one going into right field, Sana O is calling for it and will make the catch for the second out. Now bring up Devin McWaters, the last hope for the Lake Stevens Vikings. As he struck out swinging on a 2-2 count back in the bottom of the 8th. And the first pitch outside, ball 1.
It's gonna be.
And the 1-0. Strike 1 looking. And the 1-1 by Norris. Ball hits the, goes over the fence. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 more strike. Ethan Norris against Devin McWaters. And the 1-2 outside, ball 2. Game tying run is at home plate in McWaters. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kamiak wins a thriller in 10 innings here at Lake Stevens High School. The final score, Kamiak 6, Lake Stevens 4 in 10 innings. Here at Lake Stevens High School, the Vikings now going down to 7 wins and 5 losses overall, and a 2-4 conference record, as they are now tied with Glacier Peak for the final spot in the Wesco playoffs. The Kamiak Knights now up to 3 wins and 9 losses. They are 2-4 in conference play as well, tied for the final spot with Glacier Peak and Lake Stevens. The winning pitcher, Ethan Norris, who has thrown 5 innings of relief as he gets his first win of the year. The losing pitcher is Tanner Lind, who gets his first loss of the year. Kamiak will take on the Mount Vernon Bulldogs tomorrow on Wednesday, April 10th on the road to try and continue this hot play of baseball, while the Lake Stevens Vikings try to get something going against the Cascade Bruins, who is just revealed to have beaten the Jackson Timberwolves to split the series by a final score of 5-1, which means they have a 5-1 conference record, and they are 8-4 in conference play. Lake Stevens searching for their 8th win overall tomorrow on Wednesday, April 10th at Cascade High School. Again, the final score in 10 innings, Kamiak 6, Lake Stevens 4, here at 6:53 p.m. from Lake Stevens High School. My name is Payne, and you have just listened to 10 innings of Lake Stevens Vikings varsity baseball.